Alright, damn. You know, I don't know. This video might be premature. I just might be too fucking talkative and drunk. I don't know. Juan's gonna get me another beer, so fuck yeah. I'm having fun right now. No, I am. But, you know, I was listening to that last video, and, like, I don't want you to misunderstand what I'm saying here, right? Because I said that, you know, maybe you've met God in this world, and He's just hiding from you. And that after you die, He will say, I know you. Or he won't say, I know you. He will say, I don't know you. You know, and if you're a person who's afraid of hard dicks and jiggly butts and jiggly boobs, then maybe God's going to come up to you and say, I don't know you. You worship God your whole life, but you worship a false God. Because I created hard dicks and jiggly butts. And so I'm like, you know, maybe you met God before one time. Maybe you did. Maybe you met Him several times, and that's what this video is about. I don't want you to get the wrong idea here. It's like, yeah, you know, maybe you met God a time or two. And maybe God was just that drunken idiot who's just like, fuck yeah. Boobs and tits. But again, you have to go back to this idea of God being a searcher of hearts. God being a searcher of hearts. And it's like, yeah, you may have met God several times in several different costumes. It's like sometimes you may have met God, and God was being a bully. Because He's a tester of hearts. And He wants to experience your bravery, and He wants you to kick His ass. He wants you to kick His ass. Because He wants to experience, because He's a pervert. Like I said that earlier. But this is a whole different perspective on perversion. Because this is a God that wants to experience your bravery. And sometimes in order to get your bravery up, you know, he might fucking come out there and fucking, like, it was always interesting to me. It's always very interesting to me. Living in this world. Because, it's like there's these men out there, right? And they're just like Karens. They're just like fucking Karens, you know? They're just raw, you know, and but what they'll do, right? What these Karen men will do is that they will raise their voice. They will raise their voice. Right? And it's an intimidation tactic, right? Cause they raise their voice. You know, and it's just a total fucking intimidation tactic. But it's like, you know, damn, I always hated fucking actors when I was growing up, because like I made that last video about my grandma, and I love my grandma, but you know, I just hate this fucking United States that we live in. You know, damn, everything's just so fucking fake. I hate the fakeness of it all, you know, and I just do not like actors. I've never fucking liked actors. I've always hated fucking actors, because this world is just so fake that we live in. It's so goddamn fake. But I like to grow and I like to learn, and that was one of the big shocking things to me. It was one of the huge fucking shocking things to me, and it's just like, it's like the God that I believe in, he loves actors. No, and it was just a humiliation because they always love to laugh at me because they were just a bunch of perverted jackals, you know. um, and no, I was wrong. I was wrong about actors. Because God fucking loves actors, man. He does. He fucking loves fucking actors. Just gives him such a fucking hard on and a fucking shot, you know? Damn. He loves fucking actors. But this is the interesting thing to me. This was totally the interesting thing to me. Okay, I was homeless at one point in time, and the first time I was homeless, I was totally sober. I was trying to escape all this COVID. I didn't want a COVID shot. You know, I didn't want Bill Gates to give me his funny juice. You know, and but I hit the streets, and I was homeless, right? Fucking homeless, and Shakespeare says all the world's a stage, and we are just actors upon it, and it's just like that's so true. That's so fucking true. Damn. The whole world's a stage and we are just actors upon it. But once I became homeless, I was off the stage. And people would show me their real faces. At least a third. And I've talked to other homeless people and I've said this before. And they're like, no man, it's way more than a fucking third. And I think they're just emotionally traumatized. I personally hold to the third idea. But there was at least a third of Albuquerque, and they would just look at me like I was a cockroach. They would look at me like I had just kicked their dog or something. And I'm like, I don't know you. Why are you looking at me with such hatred? Why the fuck are you looking at me with such fucking hatred? Like I don't know you. You definitely don't know me, bitch. Because it's like reverse Uno card. I'm looking down on you, fucker. You know, there's these really cool things in the desert. Oh fuck it, I'm in New Mexico right now. Oh, there's two on one here. Let me get a light on and show these suckers to you. I love them. Well, you'll find these just randomly in the desert. Hey, look at that. Well, I got a whole bunch over there. These are my heart rocks. There's cigarettes mixed in there, but they're all heart rocks. You know, that's abstract, but you know, and I hate to get up. And sometimes I just get pretty ones, but these are all heart rocks. Anyways, and those are pretty cool though. Look at, I mean, they're both cool, and they're both unique and awesome. Anyways, so like, no, like I got onto the streets, and I had failed to like I just wanted to like fucking get out of the world and escape. Fuck it, you know, like Bill Gates is giving people funny shots. Like fucking A, I just want to take care of myself. Fuck all the rest of you. And I failed because I'm a suburban death baby. And so I ended up on the streets. But then I started writing stories, and here I am today, you know. But, um, but when I first got out there, it was just so fucking, it was horrifying. It was like a horror story that I was living. Because it's just like so many people would just look at me with these death eyes. They would just look at me with these death eyes. Like I met this guy on the street one time. He picked me up and he drove me around. He drove me to this one place. He was like, "Hey, you want to ride?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll take a ride." And we started talking, and he invited me to his home, and I started chilling with him and his son. And his wife didn't like me. She wanted me out of there. But, anyways, no, he had gotten hospitalized one time because he was in Albuquerque, and he was in this convenience store, and there was this. I don't think they were homeless, but he's talking to me, and he's talking about homeless people, and maybe one or two of them were homeless, but that they hospitalized him, and but he still had love for me. So there, I did experience a lot of love out there. I did. Um, like, cause he could have hated me just because of who. Like, I'm homeless, I therefore hate this guy because he's homeless. Um, but my response, it's like when I got there, I was like in shock, and the first time I experienced shock was after my wife died. I was just like shock. I was shocked because it was just such a weird dystopian thing. Um, but my response, and this was both a defensive mechanism, like a Sun Tzu type defensive mechanism, but it was also a spiritual defensive mechanism. And my defensive mechanism was to act like a child. As someone's looking at me with hatred, and that's a fascinating thing. It's like if you look at a child opens their eyes to another. Like just like kittens do. They open their eyes to you. And they're studying you. And that's why a lot of animals are like their owners. Maybe not completely, but and it's like that's what the child opens up their eyes. And so I that's what I started doing, just because I'm a pimp. And I'm just like, you're gonna look at me with hatred? Well, I'm gonna look at you with innocence. I'm gonna open up my eyes to you. And I'm gonna look at you with total fucking innocence. And I'm gonna be a mirror to your own fucking hatred, bitch. Fuck you. Like, I don't know you. Why are you looking at me with so much hatred? I never done nothing to you, nor I never kicked your dog. Shit. But that's the weird thing to me. Because like an adult, they close their eyes out. The adult closes it. And the adult face can be cool. And God likes the adult face sometimes in its proper situation. But that was a fascinating thing to me. Because it's like, you learn about, there's all these different types of toxic people out there. There's narcissists, there's greedy people, there's, prideful people who are just totally fucking delusional. They're just totally fucking delusional. And they're living in, they want their reality to be real, but guess what? It's not. And, there's these men out there. And I've seen them. And they're all over, right? They're fucking all over the fucking world, and they're bullies, and they try to get the fuck. I fucking hate flies. Fuck you, fly. He's got him. He just touched my nose. Ew, fucking maggot. Anyways, I don't know. Understand why God created flies. Fuck that. Get away from me, bitch. I do not understand why God created flies. Fuck. Anyways. No, but like, it's like there's just some guys out there, right? And they will use a loud voice in order to intimidate you. I can't do it. They will, they will use a loud voice in order. And it's like, I fucking hate these guys. They're just such pathetic bitches, you know. But what fascinates me, it's like after they use that loud voice, look at their eyes. Look at their eyes are open like a child's eyes. Not all of them. I mean, they're all different types of bullies in this world, and as the Torah would say, human nature is such a complex, beautiful thing. But some of them, they use that loud voice and then they open up their eyes. Cause it's all just a game. Like you fucking put some testosterone back at them and they will bow their fucking heads. They will bow their fucking heads. It's a countenance thing. But they use those fucking loud voices, and 99.9% of them fold. Shit. Loud voices are scary. Loud voice. Loud voices are scary. You know, and but it's interesting because it's like as soon as they fucking use those loud voices, their eyes become open and they're studying you. And it's like they're fascinated that they can control the situation just because of their loud voices. You know, I don't think God is much different than we are. And it's like nowadays there's this huge cosplay thing. We love to dress up. And like humans have always loved to fucking dress up. Shit. And you know, I think God, he sometimes loves to dress up too. Right? And in the Torah it says, if you ever met God, you would not be able to handle him. Or her, whatever. You would not be able to handle God if you ever met them. I mean, it was a bragging thing. It was definitely a bragging thing within this Torah when that line was said. Because this author had met God in the flesh, and this Jewish prophet fucking handled God in the way that was the most beautiful and sacred to God at that moment.